Hey everyone, Tasha Danielle here. I am actually in Lisbon, Portugal right now. It is 1 a.m. here. And if you are new here, as in new into the newsletters, because I don't know if I'll have my YouTube up and running by the time this video drops. But my name is Tasha Danielle, and I quit my job and decided to travel the world for a year. My last day of work was June 8th, 2022. And I hopped on a plane to Paris to land in Europe on my 36th birthday, June the 14th. And since then, I have been to Paris, Barcelona, Castelldefels, Spain. So Barcelona and Castelldefels are both in Spain. And then I went to Paris again to visit friends from Michigan for 2 days. And then I am in Portugal, and I've been here since July 23rd. Woo! That was a spoonful, but that's my intro if you are new here, or, you know, if it's not on YouTube, new to my newsletters. But why I wanted to come on here is I want to share my overall view of Lisbon. I started here and I was not impressed of my surroundings. I booked a 4-star hotel for 2 weeks, and this 4-star hotel is not in a 4-star location. It's like, did I arrive here in the hood? Now everybody nice in the area, and I also love the food in the area, but it's just like not picturesque. Like, if I'm paying for a 4-star hotel, I want to be in a picturesque environment when I walk out my hotel room, and that's just not what I'm getting. So that was disappointing. The first room I had was like very closed in. I felt like I was in a box, and I thought, oh, it's a corner unit, and it was just an awkward layout. So I got another room, and since then it's been fine. But I haven't been, I wasn't feeling the sense of community like once I got here. When I say sense of community, I mean, going to the hotel lobby, it's been pretty empty. Like, no one's at the hotel bar. No one's at the hotel restaurant. Like, people just don't stay, they don't chill or hang out in this neighborhood. Even the people that stay in the hotel, they're just not hanging out. So for me, when I leave my hotel room, I want to interact with people, because when you're traveling solo, you're not going to go run and see your mama or hang out with your best friend or whatever during the week. Like, you truly are by yourself. So when I decided, hey, I want some interaction with people, and maybe just go downstairs and have a quick bite to eat and meet someone at the bar, like just to have conversation, that doesn't exist here. So I'm like, okay. So I've had to actually put in some effort. And so, like, the fact that the first night here that I'm like, okay, I want to go to dinner, that I'm like, I ended up getting, 4 other people together was really big. And they were like, thank you so much, because we were trying to figure out who to go to dinner with, and you just posted your picture and you just look so welcoming, and like, I'm gonna be here, and people just pulled up. And that's just me again stepping outside of my comfort zone, because at home in Michigan, I had started to do stuff by myself more and more, because like, when you ask people to do stuff, it's like, come with 20 questions. Where are you parking? What you wearing? What's the menu? It's like, oh my God, can you just show up? So I started doing things on my own a lot, and I actually prepared me for Lisbon in hindsight, but I didn't realize it. Well, not Lisbon, but just solo travel in general. But in Michigan, I would never be like, let me look in the meetup or let me see if I can meet new people. I was just like, look, I'm just going to go by myself. But when you are traveling for an extended period of time, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going by myself. You need to have interactions with people. And I would, again, like I said in another video, label myself an introvert from the sense of like, I am good with being by myself for extended periods of time. And my first, I have to put in work to meet people. Like, me going to say something to someone at the bar, I'm thinking about what I'm saying. I do like a little mini rehearsal. It's a process. Is what I'm trying to say. It's not easy for me to just walk up to a stranger and say, hey, how's it going? How long have you been here? Like, it's getting a little bit easier as I'm doing it, but it's uncomfortable for me, like extremely uncomfortable. And so I'm proud of myself for taking initiative and doing that since I've been in Lisbon. And people are like, thank you for putting it out there. And people kind of looking at me like, you've been, putting things together. And a lot of people messaging me like, hey, I feel like you know where to go, or you seem like you're having such a good time in Lisbon. I want to link up with you. But I want to get back to the conversations that I had today with these 3 amazing women. One, we just had conversations, like I said, about relationship dynamics. But what hit home was just like, following your intuition and not really relying on people to confirm what you want to do, but just stepping out on faith and doing what you need to do. And I said that in another video, but it was so nice to hear that today. I also got ideas on where to go next. I never had any intentions on visiting London, but now, you know, I met someone who's like, come, if you come to London, hit me up. I'll show you around. And so me and her are hanging out tomorrow. So it's been good. But Lisbon as a whole, I don't feel like it's home for me. Lisbon has been high. Portugal has been high for a lot of places for Black expats. To me, I didn't feel home. And the reasons why is just like, to me, I feel like Lisbon is a little dirty. From a standpoint of it's like graffiti everywhere. That's not too bad. But it's just like trash is on the street. And like not in trash receptacles everywhere. Now, I'm not going to say that's all of Lisbon, but the area that I'm in, certain areas, I'm seeing like kind of trash everywhere. And it's not because it's trash day. It's just, I just don't get that feeling of like, oh my God, I want to live here. And I know what that feeling is like. I had that feeling when I was in South Africa, and that's pretty much it. And then Texas, I felt like that too. In New York, when I was in my 20s, I'm like, oh my God, it's all of the flashing lights, you know. But it's not like every time I go somewhere, I'm like, oh, I want to live here. So that's why I'm bringing it up. But I was a little underwhelmed here, to be honest. I think it was, you know, first a hotel, you know, with the location. I just explained those issues. But it just ain't hitting. But I will tell you what is. Sintra, Cash. Those places are like beach areas. And I'm like, oh, I could see myself living here. It's city, but it's not as big as Lisbon. And it's not that Lisbon is big that's a turnoff for me. It's not giving me that feeling. Like Paris is a big city, but it's like, okay, I could vibe here. It's more picturesque. It's like, it's that beauty standard that is like missing. I feel like I'm really in California. I feel like I'm in San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge, there's a Golden Gate Bridge in Portugal. Like the tour guide said the same company or the man that designed the Golden Gate Bridge did the same bridge in Portugal. And I was like, when I immediately saw it days before the tour, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm in San Francisco. The colorful buildings, the hills, the trams, like, you know, I just feel like I'm in San Francisco. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it just doesn't feel like home. And so I was just like, oh, man, Natasha, you know, when everybody go left, you tend to go right. So you shouldn't have been like thinking that this was going to immediately be a place of home for you just because everybody else said it. So that is like, but I still got Porto. And I'm leaving here on Saturday to go to Porto. And that's another part of Lisbon. And the 3 women I met today said Porto it felt like home. And we were able to talk about what the things we liked and disliked about Lisbon. And we were on the same wavelength. So I'm excited for Porto and see. But I just wanted to hop on here and just share what's been going on with me. Hopefully it made sense and you watched to the end. And until next time, bye.